Hi y'all, in this video, I'm going to talk about gravitational actions such as dead load or permanent action, as well as imposed load or live load or action. So here you can see the list of New Zealand standards for loading that you can refer to get more information about how to apply the loads on your building or structures. So as you can see, the name of the standard is AS/NZS 1170. Point 0 will be general principles. Point 1 is permanent and imposed actions that we are going to talk about in this video. Point 2 is wind actions. Point 3 is snow and ice actions. Point 4, earthquake actions, which is for Australia, so don't worry about this part. And point 5 is for New Zealand earthquake actions. So as we discussed about it last semester in structures, one permanent action or dead load is referred to as action that is likely to act continuously throughout the design working life and for which variations in magnitude with time are small compared with the mean value. What that means is this load will apply on a structure forever. When we say forever, it's we mean the life long of the structure. So if you design a structure for 20 years, you will expect the dead load to be applied on the building every day in that 20 years, or at least for a long amount of time that you can consider it permanent. One of the common dead load is self-weight of the structures, and all material incorporating into structures such as walls, floors, ceilings, etc. And also the permanent equipment, including fixtures and fittings, are also considered as a dead load or permanent action. And also partitions, if it is fixed or applied on actual layout, otherwise as a uniformly distributed permanent load, not less than 0.5 kilopascal. So what it means is because sometimes the partitions are not fixed, so you have an open area and you leave it for someone who wants to design the interior to install the partition in that open office or open area. So the position of those partitions are not fixed, but it may occur or it may be constructed in any part of your area. So what we do is to apply a uniformly distributed load all over that area to consider that partition loading for all over the area. And also stored material. For example, sometimes we expect in the warehouse, we have a storage part, and we always expect some loads to apply on that area. So we consider them permanent because that part of the building is meant to be for storage of like heavy material or some amount of loading that you already know. To find out about self-weight of the material in the structures, you can refer to that standard that I told you, AS and ZS 1170.1. So if you open your Moodle page and you go to resources, here is New Zealand Standards database. And if you say you agree and accept the terms and conditions, you will access the New Zealand standard for free. So here you can type the name of the standard that you are looking for example, 1170.1. So as you can see, we have this one. As you can see, it said amendment. So it is the change that after the main version, you will get amendment. So make sure that you're updated with that changes. But what we want to do is just to download the main standard, not the amendment, okay? For example, for other parts, you also see something like supplementary or amendments that you don't need to be worried about, like here. If you want to download the general part, it will be not this one, it's amendment. This one is also a supplement. We don't want this, we want this one. So as you can see, it's just the part 0, general principles, that's it. So if you want to know about the general principles, you just download the main document. So I've already downloaded the part 1. So if you open it, it's amendment. No, it's not the right one. So here, if we say 1, not the amendment, not the supplement, we just want here. And view PDF. So it automatically downloads the action. Okay, so if you scroll down, you will I recommend that you read through the preface that tells you about this standard and where it would apply to and which the structures you can use it for, and it's a general matters that you need to read about. And then the scope is also important. For example, it's this standard specifies permanent imposed static liquid pressure, groundwater, rainwater, ponding and earth pressure actions to be used in the limited state design of the structures and part of structures, okay? And also applications. So these parts are the main thing that you have to read through and make sure that this standard is applicable for your structure that you're designing. So for the warehouse, if you want to design or normal residential or office buildings, these standards will apply, so don't worry about this. So about the table that you need. So as you can see, if you scroll down, you will see different loading. For example, we have impose actions here. And if you scroll down in the appendix, you will find the self-weight of different materials here. unit weight of material. So if you want to calculate the load of different material on your roof or flooring, you can just find the unit weight of volume. So it is kilonewton per meter cube. And you need the thickness, you need the width and the length to be able to find the weight of that material for your building. There is another part here, table A2, gives you some general loading as well. For example, for ceiling, it depends on what type of ceilings you have. For example, if it is gypsum plaster, 13 millimeter thick, the loading is 0.13 kilonewton per meter squared, which is the force over unit area. And for example, floors, you have also different materials, and you need to see which one would be applicable to your building. And another part for the roofs, which is like this. So for the project, you just go through this and try to find the material that you have for your roofs and apply it on your building. So the other one, the other loading that we want to talk about is imposed actions or live load. And also we show it with Q. So the definition is a variable action resulting from the intended use or occupancy of the structures. So you can find the loading, live loading for floors, roofs, barriers, and others in the same standard in the table. So again, if you open the standard, same standard, 1170.1, and you just go up to the imposed action, you will see that there are different tables, give you different loading. As you can see, it's reference values of imposed floor actions. So from the table, you can find, for example, for self-contained dwellings, you can use these options. So again, you have to have a look and see which item will be applicable to your building or structures. Usually we just apply it as a uniformly distributed action because we don't know the exact position or location that the load is applied. So you just consider in the distributed load, then you are free to put that equipment or that loading anywhere in your building. For example, here also you can see for office and work area, we have another part, areas with tables, areas with fixits. So again, if you scroll down, you will see different loading. The interesting thing is because if you're designing only one floor, like a warehouse or building, so the loading will apply directly on a foundation or on the ground. So any loading on your floor doesn't apply on your structure itself. So you don't need to be worried about the floor loading. So as you can see for the floor loading, all the loading will be applied directly on the ground because our building that we are designing is only 1-floor building. So don't worry about that part, but just the only loading that will apply on your structure will be the loading applies on the roof. So look at the roof loading. So as you can see, we have also different loading for the roofs, and see which one would apply on your building. If you don't have enough information in the instruction of your project, just assume something and write in your report. For example, I assume that, for example, people have access to the roof for either maintenance or anything. So I consider some amount of live load for the roof. Or I assume that, for example, we don't have any of these items on my roof, so nothing will apply as a live load or impose action on the roof. So if something is in the instruction of the project, it is necessary to be applied. Other than that, it is just your assumptions that need to apply on the building. So it is all about the live load and dead load. And thank you for watching this video.